energy companies. And this has resulted in a return to what is popularly known as dumsor. And this is due to government's inability to buy the fuel for electricity generation. Unspeakable corruption, nepotism, brazen theft, waste of national resources, impunity, and general criminality have become the hallmarks of Ghana's current government. There is widespread despair and anguish amongst our people, leading to an active debate that I followed recently on our social media about whether securing a foreign passport to do menial jobs in Europe is better than holding a PhD in Ghana. Among these proposals, it is a reflection of the adversity which aims to use an incentives-based approach to catalyze round-the-clock economic activity for expansion and job creation. Now, for those who say they don't understand it, however much you explain, they say we don't understand. Assume that this university was operating only from 8 o'clock to 5 in the evening. How many students will be able to study here? Today, this university has about 2,000 students, because while some are closing from the day lectures, others are coming in the evening and studying. And so it allows them to take on more students than the capacity of this university otherwise would have taken if they were running only a day session. It makes it simple to understand. If you have one factory, it can produce only a certain amount of products from 8 o'clock to 5, and it can employ only a certain amount of people. If you want to use the same capacity to employ more and produce more, then once shift closes, another shift comes in and continues working. I don't know what is so difficult to understand about this. And we're saying that we will give them the incentives to do it. It's going to be the private sector. You have a factory and you want to run the 24-hour economy. You want to sign on to the 24-hour economy. We will give you incentives to be able to do so.
See, we the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we and some ahodo de etudwa. Na yes, ankonya nonko osan edi tudwa efa ene MPP4 eho ensem we the okan efa foreign passport no eho ensem se PhD no eho ehia echen foreign passport no ho hia osabekani Nyabotrasa. Nyabotroma. Yankoni ne John Kapi. Ono PRO de ma West African Examination Council. Encoding komo. Ne yanhwe BC no eho ensem. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Minister hoye.
Nyame adom hoye.
Yede nyame asepa na nyame adom a em say Zanzibar ko edam anim Ghana ha BC no. Ehon sam te sen.
Ayo me da se say ye share no ye gustua ye ehon say na ye woman say akwa education. Abi Ghana was about the my mama 2.284 million pe na no enso de ye say aban pe this can be baba ka hona yetimi a conducting survey no
Mti 2.24 million no. Say na mo ehwehwede aka ho anei eno maye nti ama modwumadie na ye din.
Oh, once exams no nyoma bebre account printing what do you call it? Transportation and nyoma ye account. Enti eno ye kata ye mass specific figures is here a bedding. But then at least Sika Abandia cannot, even if we get about 50%, we can start the examination. Now, Biakano or Motiabam yet to be APH to understand yes.
Nti Aban de Mokabe yes saying.
I see a year BC, Almost 95,837,306.
95,837,350. 306. Okay.
Yeah.
And what Brem saying 2 point something million.
2.284.
Right now, money or more editing common. Minim dentia asses cano acha. Omachem dentia scanache.
In fact, up till now, Obia and Karen Trey, Yatro, and whole letters, Yane, a Impeniphone Biakasa, but still, Yeshadanya specific, response via Enfium Hosse, Kane, and that's a Bebram say, and that's a Bebram Sinti. As at now, we are in limbo outside.
But says I'm now me fans akabe na watch be and as me akaka krabina akabosome na o matro exams no na anasa na watch me ensa meboa
Akabe na watch me ensa
na watch me ensa ya monsan kaskai na brezo kwa na ekuri ti e ba se monsan kaskai no kura can you beat time na matimi I 20% na yetumi atro exams no.
Oh yes, once you were players yeah omo itme emayen a bond paper and also consumables for the printing press. Inti printing day you go so printing yami adoma by this the end of next week you be printing in your packing so so. Akasa you be my questions here ako across the country now o matter exams and I feel so the money free and I was say your fish can you could because almost I say or more business no the cost.
What can I say no will it be says abankura ehye bo say bia mo de monye na ebia nakakra de we no mo de bebrem a you will still go ahead and I'm more trying say mo sabeka physical cash no ansa na motimi etusa na mo yi.
Yeah, treasure some physical because as I speak Sophia enyadia ye wosika ye betimi e de idea because to nyoma sika kakra wo na de aye foundational work na was here no nti se scribia to be amade anyadia ye betimi akoso ye bibia
Enti se koba se mo bo aban bono na still ama there's the possibility say exams ni betwam ana se ye betimi postpone.
Oh, dear, I don't think that's an maybe a postponement there is a likelihood. As we speak, near the understand about okay, the Sebe Bremo before let's say the 4th of July, because by 4th now say and Crawford if we have a call a year Bibria exams no.
All right. Enti na chese de ho ensem onti mo twen se abai mo sabekeska but still mo ye Ghana there differently from the rest of West Africa na still ye boom.
Oh, BC near country specific.
Okay.
BC the Ghana phone kwa na area. Was no see and kwa near Babe and there because other countries no Edian kind.
Okay. Right. Enti that is a konechiri kura enshadan hadwin. Just say be academic calendar no na e bia ho e bese sakakra. But hadwin bi asa.
And hadwin bi asa academic calendar that's all.
Timambusa say minim say money abria me hu say matumi present picture na chira ban say sanete ana say omo masa maka na omo mfi ntimo so bia mo twen say ban na nadwuma ntimo so mo twen atiada.
Oh, Sabi, yes, we are Ghana for. Yes, we are Mako School be. Yen Yanom and I say, now for Masoko School. Tinya the abit me, I say, oh, I buy the encantian, so you buy idea a ensign fata de Binyas here. Now, the woman say, previously, I buy the council here, we've gone ahead to conduct the examination. But I feel. Sikanasa, ye nisia, ye the best shots, ye cry. And so once why had this speech, over 40 and can actually say there be at to see and answer problem no idea am wedding. And to say ye Casas see and actually say I didn't assume no be best I critical.
Right now, we a be a sida say about the Bokana Money printing, and I say this is the first of its kind.
This is the first of its kind. Previously, Ombeka say okay, but they say the way but I see the simple my 3 weeks to exams now out of 95 when you're 2.284 there. I don't know. It's just woefully inadequate.
Right. Yeah, how are you, baby? Mr. Some now can add some them. Say, Mubakoso Abua bang epunumu. Copying say, Obaby, because in Quadano, me name psychologically, any emotionally, how I bet me are traumatized because I not just say, ABI was sharing a plan, say, a do sabria, me cotrezam, say, Kobasa Chukwechra, and Ranako Hagani.
And no, especially prevent it. We want to prevent that one as much as possible. Once, if you say previously, no, what one year from say beji skase in your fan to jantem no, but I say many bench one can be this what ball until we have to bring it out and say it as it is.
Na muntumi say mu don kwada die sanka at least mo so mo pebe e dey abaisika dey say dey obetua nanka mo aye ma kwada na mo so ho ato mo.
Oh, I have previous years, but I feel watch reading. Watch reading. It's going to be new. I bet me at the end. I go to Marcus. So the way I say, there's no funds at all at WAEC as we speak.
Ora John Kapi Hedasi and I anope ni Ibrawo Nyamai. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We a PRO Edema, the West African Examination Council. Okay. Emmanuel. Oza.
Enema bebre o wa mfitiase no. Ya na eya wo se eye bleak. Die dre die ase unhu so.
Unhu anim ye.
Unhu akire. Nti ya wo se die dre die ase ya wi.
Abanke kan ho.
But the tie ne sese wo yare no wanka na wanfe wo se a. Obi anso hu so yare. Enti until sese so mo ba abonten. Ama aban so abehu se problem say na nobody knew about it. Nti na ye paper review mekane say eya na mo sade na sentem mo kan ntema mo mahu problem a ewo ho nipa no ode wo ka de nanso de ode wo ka no wan hyase anan ne kantem
I'm so mad at you na I say I won't pay some the better abonte but someone found the trouble a Ghana for bomb so bo entina ennei abase omo ye ho hwie enye this omo de betoma Ghana ho say we one farm and just say no man me bo omo so bo na mum se so bo bi wo ho no ma mum free omo so nkwa aban so because aban omo bona 95 million Ghana cedis na aban ko tua no etua 2.2
na me no abemu ne accountant general ne omo mutuetua sika no me nema bi wa ya menti o mase
anything
ade bi e fa health
education
ade bi e fa education enema bi wo ho a ye ntwen mo bi medanka ye omunya ye budget ne de ba ye na amuhwehwe mu hu say this is a genuine course
critical
I was say ye tua denti na was say ye down mo cancer say me won we na kra yi ko school say ma me hia pen this a pen na kra ne me kan wasem be na wotwe ansa na mama ne pen me wa ewunyia say we nya pen na school no onti bi okwa classroom a obede sua de
unim de nti amana basa no aban no ehunu se sometimes no ho eya na WAEC for ndi omzikaye na echiri wakotua
say akwese
preference but ene omso muniska
ene ma bi wo ho anti na make set say ene ma health ye beto nro machines a ye de be operations machines de ye adwuma e wo hospitals ne ade no no wo twa ma prefinance o mo de ska ben o mo go first ka no wo hemfa no mo dey prefinance we say no crucial and it's about examination and kola wa ko school from crèche ananti ma feina national so na hwe se niam ye kire wo free crèche ni nyina beto sabre na se mo fa stress And son and says, so who say, and
or you're undecided on who say will share you. Say, oh, you're doing.
Sir,
Obi how a plan you was sending plans in Nemesi, Chamesi, Nekobasa, Sebu, Yamen Fasama, your bomb say, Insi. Say, exams, they bet quachri. Now a Kobasa exams and you're quachra. The stress. A dear Kodani Befem. Also, my young Koda, Obi home faces that situation be that. Now, over fast stress in this situation, you sign the baby.
One said this week in my bedroom. Say so I'm here and upper class 6 o'clock. Yes. Into a no banner ministry, your cry was some better. Men nabanti or no far way in them or upon so beside classes. And I do be 8
and son
no bedroofy. Into all yes, I prepare. When you are psychologically, physically, near the now, more kaka we are. Now, crying move and new class idea where Baba and say, cry me, I can't want him. Time on Yaba, somebody panaba betrays.
I'm so much up to 4th of July. Someone to be at the end of 20 betum because I'm going to know your preparation.
No, so crying.
I'm going to come my back, scared the quackogy.
I
buy the better trouble.
On trouble, buy some good
ever the enemy.
Or because Shani Bola buying
ever the enemy.
Yeah, my.
Nay, you will my.
And you may be saying. And no baby say the Dutch passports and we here change PhD no because one said somewhere else I dear with me yes yes institutions and may be on my young fat dear way in Kohon ain't a bad day no being your passport no what's never been already a coswa and 1 year the car sucrum near spray and near my sham with fragrance you one of my no sham from a come say ya and send my way in there because now the education health crown which is and when some watch be dear a bad day no being cake as answer now so in nature and some dependent kind of so the end and ya do not buy moon penny for more than a moon to an morning time
anyway that's what you so now for
Kwabena
if we are near Berry Mohammed Seminole kind
so the one they make kind say PhD no who here face no former president Mahama Krabo so say education there will be here now when your PhD na wie na wantimi
I'm fine here the was already yo
o concrete for man so PhD no man yam dey develop your mind no ye press ye be ko no to me say some man ya dey nti na ye ntimi fan sha ye man ye
unim the problem
Ghana has
a problem, they say. The education system, maybe a name, maybe a year done.
And yet,
can I know a book? Now, Kwabena UST, I engineering, mechanical engineering.
None
the car or the car come. The tie Ajo or just a few people.
Ever two.
Mumu education is the key. And you can't want to padlock.
Kwabi, me who say Ghana no ankasa no. Enye proactive.
Okay.
Adisa asem na siwie ne ye ni say ye. Ɛna obi nyame ye obi adom na wonya lada no so ba bi duru a onwini nua ho.
Asa, ono nko a.
Say aben unse education de oba mu di tumo ho. Say education de edamakoma so pa. Enti ha me say you pray finance me nim omo arrangements the way sit here but kapi kasa no was it previous nyina no ye de sika yes ye ni sika
asa sika
na me busa na say why this time but who say that time we so na omutimi bo aban no to a obenyo mu sika
no na say no unse obi a be striker election year
sanity
what you say teacher for be striker na nkwala be exams
not even election year some kwala be exams and it's a one farm we obi a be hu ada pa
dodoa na sanity but about education there, Jim Kwabena exams.
Education.
Who so teacher near strike or more vacation.
Baby.
Enti whatever it is, no. Abanye sereno. Onhwe. Na onsisi. Whatever it is. There me ya woman say, I'm so my boy, obi anka hwe krampo nchiro. Say obi anka hwe.
We so kwa new curriculum. It's a say crown nim
omunni ayi past question crown no ma.
Ko ekron kuma anim so a ya no mo sentence bi a mo try exams no. To be go a movie o mo do mo ko
na say kuma se crown ye kron kitwa kuma se crown ye school bi na try center. Me school ho say ye be turu bi ho schools be bri be ba ho.
Aba be so ma me current dan dia ma ne say a week no nko da mu a wa boneka
Anyway, me uncle the former president and some of the betu dwane bi ewo aye Christian Service University College. Something o ama meta no.
Say no kasa na me wo bi.
Ama meta. Nti ye no akopie mu. Right, yentie in sama odi tu dwa efa aye school passport no ho ensem. Yenko na yentie in sama odi tu dwa fa PhD. Any passport be a wo be hu hia no ho ensem yentie sama o kan edifa ho.
Nepotism, raising theft, waste of national resources, impunity, and general criminality have become the hallmarks of Ghana's current government. There is widespread despair and anguish amongst our people, leading to an active debate that I have followed recently on our social media about whether securing a foreign passport to do menial jobs in Europe is better than holding a PhD in Ghana. It is a reflection of the adversity into which our nation has been plunged. Otherwise, there is no basis of comparison between a visa and a PhD. A PhD is about learning and education. A visa is an opportunity to travel and reside somewhere. But you forget that where you are residing, there are people with PhDs too. And the comparison is not between their PhDs and the fact that you are residing in their country. Learning and education is the most important resource a human being can acquire. And if you had a PhD and you had an opportunity to travel, you'll be a more high-value citizen in that country that you have gone. And so there's no basis. It's like comparing apples and what fruit should I use? Normally they use oranges. Like apples and alugun today. And so that debate should not be taking place at all. It's taking place because of the crisis into which this government has plunged our country. And in the debate, I note that an overwhelming majority have opted for obtaining passports and a visa to travel. And this signals a complete loss of confidence and hope in the future of our country. What this teaches us is that a democracy that does not lead to qualitative improvements in the lives of the people holds no meaning for them. With the national spirit sinking to an all-time low and hopelessness engulfing our country, a change in governance and direction has become absolutely imperative. Therefore, I've decided to run for office as president in this election.
We, the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and some of kind, the far, Kuta PhD, and the Netherlands passport, no, and some, and no, young Konafi or can some edify economy, no, so, say, and nay, Sebi, and this year, Sandy or Manish or more abese economy, no, and so, and Sebu, Indian Sama former president, Eddie Etuja.
And die straight. And this is not the time for comedy. This is not the time for concert party about passing a mythical spear to somebody. There is no space for stale falsehoods and gaslighting. Those trivializing the suffering and pain of Ghanaians and reducing important matters of governance to empty slogans and desperate promises cannot come near the leadership of this country. Those whose glaring failures at economic management have sucked us into this vortex of despair, despite their lofty talk in opposition, and who now seek to flee from responsibility, cannot be rewarded with the presidency of a nation in such deep crisis. And it is unimaginable to think that those who claim, that some claim, that it's better to have an economy that has defaulted on debt, causing over 1 million bondholders, including elderly pensioners, to suffer financial haircuts, still would try to convince Ghanaians that they are in a much better position than one in which debt servicing was done timelessly, without default, and when nobody suffered any financial loss. The presidency cannot be handed over to those who present themselves as the future, when they have been the epicenter of our disastrous present. The presidency cannot be handed over to those who present themselves as the future when they have been the epicenter of our disastrous present.
Enti we nsɛm a ɔde to dwa fa sɛ yɛsan de ɔman no hyɛ ɔmo asɛbi ɔmo asɛ yɛ economy no ɛho nsɛm sɛ ɛnyɛ comedy ɛna yɛba abɛyɛ nti abadwafo tena sɛ yɛbɛdo so saa nsɛm no mu yie paa sɛ mamudu ha saa nso ɛna Jimmy bɛba na yɛahwɛ nsɛm no afei yɛnkɔ Mahama sɛ ɔnyɛ clearing agent like Nanado Dankwah Kufuado ɔno deɛ sɛ ba sɛ na appointees anaasɛ wo a wobɛyɛ corrupt practices biara no mmara no sɛ deɛ ɔsɛ ɛde toɔ no ɔde ɛbɛto hɔ no pɛpɛpɛ nti nsɛm a the former president ɛde ɛto dwa.
Greater control of our natural resources and move towards processing such resources while attracting investments into areas such as farming, industry, agribusiness, tourism, and the rapidly growing digital sector. There will be promotion of new value-added export items such as oil palm, salt, cotton, soya, textiles, ginger, cashew, cassava products such as ethanol and starch. This will increase our export potential and bring in more foreign exchange so that it can lead to a stable currency. Corruption and the abuse of office to the detriment of citizens will not be tolerated. I will not be a clearing agent. The anti-corruption institutions will work without political interference. Persons who have involved themselves in looting the resources of the state should expect to be prosecuted and imprisoned. There will be greater transparency and accountability in the way that governments operate. Our citizens, especially the youth, will feel a sense of ownership of governance and their voices will matter. Institutional reforms will be a focus on strengthening governance systems that deliver desired outcomes. We will curtail the excessive politicization of institutions such as the judiciary, the Electoral Commission, and other independent constitutional bodies through major constitutional reforms. We will also rein in the phenomenon of bloated government and replace it with a much leaner one. We will not have 125 ministers, we will have not more than 60 ministers. Attendant governance costs like payments of utility bills, fuel, and ex-gratia payments will be cancelled. The Big Push program will channel investments into a priority investments program, PIP, to cover infrastructural projects in the area of roads, bridges, dams, railways, aviation sector, telecommunications, manufacturing, healthcare, education, power, tourism, water and sanitation, agriculture, and agribusiness. We expect that this will involve investments.
And some of the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, at the Tuja, and so the Christian Service University College. Na said ye mede kind at the Tuja no, and a tima na a daswo say or say sustainability of democracy in Africa, the Ghanaian experience. Umiyanku jasum rawati na. Yenhwe eho ensem yakoba mamudu ha yebedi nkomo Jimmy ewo ha yebedi nkomo ede afa ho but EI before ede so bebia ba beto edwa na dem dia beto dwa no echese ene over the running mate for the new patriotic party Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia de wahura di anim Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe napo ena dodo na afre no na so we no Naponya 76.2% and Osedu Chumia 10.6%. 10.16%. Okay. And Omo Didi Hono, Eddie Ho. As already favoritely. Now the favorite passer or say Obey Franketuni Abedi Chri Emma MPP no. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe. Now I said Dr. Manebo Amadi Asimbiaba Abonte.
No na me tree. Or say, I quote, in choosing running mates in doom so.
Okay.
Don't choose Dumso as running mate.
in choosing running mate in Dumso.
In Dumso, make sure
you don't choose
Dumso as running mate.
As a word, you mudo.
Enti chire na number afo no.
O say Sabria
ye ba be yitu apam mu bra Dumso e wo so yi. Yen hwa se yen koyi Dumso. Setu apam mu. Dumso bra yi mu.
Ambiguous.
There be mu da ho.
Ambiguous. Ambiguous.
Okay, subjective.
Subjective. They are very ambiguous.
And who is the Dumso and what is the Dumso?
I want a man ambiguous. The man is ambiguous. On a head Dumso.
Transformers now.
Ghanaians said a bit decided to do so, Hannah do so. Oh, a gun and me a gun and a queer gun and me. Anyway,
in your Dumois,
okay. Matthias, Gentia make us say a year ambiguous and I say. Said okay, one interpretation. Another interpretation by so I say, Omunko you bia, or no swan casano, you do so. What I say?
In Tigana, one do so.
But you minim. Right, you go just over now. I have foreign trust.
All right. Enti, Eniana, ye beda latex foam so. Na yatsana latex foam, akonya so. Ye sofa ye di bibesi ye ho offices na wunya ho not na ma hu se se wani abie wani ate papa enti o showrooms bia kwa obenya bi latex foam your partner for life
na enam se afrupan wo ye ntimi sha ba enti twase ye didi anopa wi ne anwumre na ho se me se didi no bitimi kaka yesimu a wa hwe ya na kaka mpokura no e ba be ye wo buo mo kwa ni dodom na yade bi ho twatwatwa saa so na nimo bebrebe obi mpokura so no na wari egu nyina kire se be ma no ba no twe no ho no enka bi agina wanu mu ntwu katrama so ye onya pepsodent cavity fighter ni bi ona beboa ama sa enka hodo kaka no nyina entimi emfa enyew na fluoride ewom no enya asem keto akra pebi toy na bia boja stores ahodo nyina benya bi ato na aboa amane ma nyina etimi akoyie ede amount
Amuzu heba ne amuzu garlic no ebo adwuma papa esiesie ni pedua maskin ne efe wakoma eni entini no nyina mu besensane ma moja na timi adi afrusane na cholesterol timi ateso onsane ona ya titiriti na beboa na timi atuni nyina ase na wose na yaro sabia kese okumase eye tafo obemoro market ho nhyaye so enti ya afre no 0247776743 no so wato apeti
na yamfo ye ni nkire atoma agogo kumase heye medi mafo ho na yeko Dr. Tam no sabra no fa mre nto yade ne so no nsama yade be na etete wo yade be na edi wawuo se ya busua mu de ya to ede ama wo unu obi kura nya asem na obo udua wa akire ene onya sa yade no a Dr. Tam no sabra awurade adum tie ha ma eno didi dwuma obenam so ede age wo yade na freye was 0244774282 anasa 0500727515
MTN na Shanti Fest no so afidie ebaso na womo miamia hudro bebre ho no womo kodi se adwuma no a afia ya yetwa mu no kai nti afide na bibekoso ode chem so edweso Ashtown eye kwadru yi atom na fe so for line alignment to astrotef no eso ene agokansi ahudro bebre na ebekoso nti ya no wadi MTN fonhye no nyina so na so wadi akire na fe gala no se de tie nyina wo so atimi do ho agim na ne pa ya ewo mu no onsa atumi aka bi
me kanfo moti ede ama o me se ene o man gane mu ayesimu ayeden bank ba ko a ye debosia tata yadwadifo aye multi credit savings loans furniture branches ahodo nyina na sa ekuo busia ye de man wonsa etimi eka bi nipa so nipa no nipa ankrese mu nkan mom se kuo munni mu ho anti mba ne atabri sika ne de amamo wo so no obese onkuto wo de na wo baji a de be ma ye nsi wo kwan de obe ne se na fu adu ese ando sika besi ho na mpanifo ahweso ama obie de bank bi ye o man Ghana mu no so multi credit ye so ye bi free was 0244 176901 na mpanimfoɔ na hwɛ ɛso bɛpɛ sika no bi ɛde ato ho.
Say one say European League na ekoso. Ene wokoto se Kwabena ne hyedem a wonni de ne no nani die kire sa go aso de ogina park ne so bi. Na ya na wonsu TV no decoder ben na ya wo hwe no watimi anya bi ahwe. Se no nkrofo hwe gye ho akinye no. Wonya bi nhwe de ne na pe DSTV. Was as little as 80 Ghana cedis. Onso betimi I enjoy bi. Enti pedikoda ne bi na sa games nyina. Oba na manfo gye ho akinye ye kan wonso atimi aka bi.
Ye MTN pick and pay later na jaba kwaku MTN fo so madwere ho. Na sese do mani ma ye den sika samso ho aye den. To mobile phone na yira mobile phone na tete we say na wo koye ne aju sika mo se to twere na bra. Oba MTN fo showroom ahodo bia mobile phone na wo pɛ no do nsa besi so. Na mo de sa phone na ma ho afi we twa na kakra ɛho hyeseye no ɔmo se bra mo office no mo mwa wo. Na ne gise mo wo mu ne se ɔmo sa ma 2 gig data abusumi nsia no betimi use ompe we na apede ye he se da mu na apese otwia na wotwena na se bosome a panifo no be san hyeseye no na wo so watimi atwia phone ne ka na phone no aba be ye odi kone kwa yibie na wo so timi kasa wo phone so
SSFo no nyina ne abatan ya amutie ye mo hye ne nso se Kessben University College ne nkrabata wadum City Campus wo mo ye special classes se dia ma SSFo no akwada na ibesua de no betro no watwa kama che se lecturers na and a bedroom match and Kodana dear. Ain't registration fee 100 Ghana cedis. Over fresh number no be someone some 0264 7170 0264 7170 na one best start say July bosome da ito so ensia enti July 4 de wom na August 4 so de wom de yan so be frɛ number no na wabisa ho asɛm.
KOD.
All right, Ibadasi Ekuane Samson. Se Mahmoud Kabori ewa hano no a Dean of Constituency Communication Officers in Ashanti. Ono ewa Hasanso na ye twen se Jimmy Boachi ansa member Ashanti Regional Communication Team by the NPP. Ono so ba be kayensa. Ghana yenye siya nku wati hedenya. Ewe san asori. Mamkola Mahmoud Akwaba. Mahmoud, good morning.
Good morning, Abusia.
Na boko de.
Alhamdulillah.
Edenya Right, edenya pa. Right. Me share come to train us by Yanko Shasi free in Sama Enra, the former president at the Ekotudja. Ewo Mommy no much that. Won't capture mommy. There's a building in Ashata Devako. Won't capture mommy. Won't capture mommy. Oh, I'm much of a copy. Won't find you into Sumami. Say coincidence. We all want the best for Ghana. That's right.
No, MPP wants the best for Ghana.
Oh, sir. And this is what I want for the best for Ghana. And I'm Ashata Devako. Anyway, Jimmy Akwaba.
Yeah,
Boko de.
Yeah,
right, okay. Me say Mahmoud, me say for free na yen hwen sama etodwa enra. Ya say oba be kasa e kan sama hudu bibiri okabi efa ene economy ase ho say san emfa enhye the president and I say amaya abanya ene wa be say economy no ho okansem efa ho ofansem edifa foreign passport and against our PhD degree e Ghana ho okansem edifa say ene onye clearing agent said na Dankwah Kufuado clearing agent no and osa propose some solutions for when oba bemwa dobe Mahmoud say for free
Openi mame na wasi bebre na ye momo abaso eduma so amodibo amagana titiw yasante mantem mamenchia watiefo ono ajebre eni adaje ni di dwuma ya no pai wenu ajibi hia no ache na no pai mamenchia party mpenifo nyina oluma okrum mamenchia kanema mpeni John Dramani Mahama onamununkumba ne maye tosuminu na omano chechele pa na enu bemponso yenyina ebe ya hohoho a meye nije se yenyina no ye Ghana fo na oman ni ye man
okay
openi enora nkomodia kanima mpani John Dramani Mahama ni yebedi no brody free be breathtaking kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ nkɔmmɔ a ɛde ahontosoɔ bi ɛyɛ nkɔmmɔ a ɛde anidasoɔ bi ɛbrɛ asanteman ne Ghana man at large na nkɔmmɔ bi a odi yɛ no sɛbie sɔn sɛbie krontɔ yɛsɛ wotira yɛ mbisa tire hunam because wow so don't suffer tire ho onim sɛ di tire hunam tie ɔman a yɛtimu yi na akɔyɛ te sɛ nyame obi nkyira bɔfra nyame biem sɛ ɔhaw abenisie kɔdanna nneɛma mu yɛ ayɛ dene no sɛbe ɛnyɛ obi na bɛka kyerɛ obi nti nkɔmmɔ a no wɔ ne yɛ di no yɛ nkɔmmɔ a ɛyɛ true reflection of the Ghanaian situation na pragmatic steps a yɛbɛtumi atiki na avert situation kwampa a yɛbɛtumi afa soɔ na saa ɔhaw a yɛwɔ mu yɛbɛtumi afiri mu no ɛna ɔne yɛn ɛba bɛkyɛɛ ɛwɔ Christian Service University ade baako a me feel sɛ ɛyɛ nika ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ ɛnora he exhibited the usual statesmanship ɛnora Papa John Dramani Mahama kyerɛ sɛ indeed ɔwɔ dɔ kind dɔ soronko bi ɛde ma Ghana utie ne nkɔmmɔ a odi edi kind he's not a clearing agent indeed obi a wodim John Dramani Mahama na abra wɔyɛ mampanini wɔ kurom ha na ɔwɔ ɔman yi mu ana wate na bakwasɛm abra wɔyɛ mampanini enim sɛ onye obi a ɔsoso kata hyehyɛ proyɛ ene kankan sanse mfato ho bebree wɔ hɔ a ɛkyerɛ sɛ papa no sɛ ne dwumadie bi a wɔdie no wopɛ sɛ woboa no na dwirim wanchendi adwen ne wo tirim a opasan because at the end of the day won sabeden ebesi form hwɛ mfato ho bi wɔ na ba mu sɛ no ɔno ane nua ba Vicky Hammer ɔno ane Paul ne sɛ soafo Vicky Hammer di nkɔmɔ wɔ ne car mu na ne driver record no maame asɛm tie wa nyinaa ne sɛ on di aban a wɔ mu no ne botae ne sɛ obenya $1 million onya wawie do mama sɛ maame sɛbie son sɛ bi nya do menhwɛ ma ɔman agyapade a yɛdi bi bɛsoma asɛfa kɔyɛ adwuma ma ɔmanfoɔ no bɛto sintidua no akɔkɔfa aboa no ɔnka wa wɔmfei ne sinkyerɛw ɛno nti dwumadi a wudi biaa ɔman Ghana di mfato hɔ na yɛsika nkɔto sintidua
ɔde kɔpɛ ɔma $1 million wɔ
yes wa akɔdi kɔpɛ sɛ ne ɔfɛ pao sɛ ɔkɔ akɔdɔ bankye wɔ ayi friends ahanta wasiw no akɔdɔ ɔgye tumi ne firi ne nsɛm with the interest sɛ yɛmmɔ ɔman agyapade ho ban hwɛ obi te sɛ Abuga Pele ne nua asebet ɔno a ne power mu so monko the Northern Development Authority abra ne efro mu sada enjida na monko hwɛ masire mu atifi do sebe ohia bubura ekumi ne me papa busuafo a ye wosire mu no ye hwɛ kwampa locally ye betimi generate solutions to them by taking advantage of the local economy and local industry omu ye ho no e dey dey see ye emrantie no koye sika no wonran ono ade omu gina amra ni mu a mra kuti omu na omu kwa afiase mfie dunu that is how you have John Dramani Mahama no fight corruption hwe ye ko dunkwa ofin ye ko duru en DC ya no wo honom na ofin river chamvan mienu penesi nso so the next morning na honorable Yunus of say na lands and natural resource minister or the report by the next morning na John Mahama has fired that DC because obi a say ye ko galamsey then na chamvan mienu wo mpeso aso na ontimi ntu ho anamo he fired him in the area of real cases, corruption, in the area of say young Kubibi or mining in interest, John Mahama had always fought and fought well.
Let me ask a question there before I ask.
That's sorry. That's sorry. Now, plenty of this administration, dollars, padria. Dollars sumye dollars adane bashiti dollars adane passing mpabwa amanfo timi twi oba besi sika mu $1 million no won hunu ye. But people are silent. Nipa ka one word to madintia because yanya basoro nkubia yetimi di botachi na yentumi famboba.
Let me ask a question first before I continue. What can I say, people also raise questions and concerns about enyeme course Brazil 2014.
Yes.
Ora Sankra obaye yeti commission ho nsem baye wieye na watwe no akwa akɔhye na hwe ewo amanfo busa questions on that one amanfo busa questions about time o free abemu nyina hini friends saying a good year wo honoma na oja me penchire because I'm standing for Ghanaians because these are questions are Ghanaians. How will you answer to that? Or you truly say or fighting corruption? What about these cases?
In real others a free anchor Eddie Ghana contingents and him called Brazil. And somewhere to tell you, Yakoto could be $500, Yakwesi. Not any rare case scenario, say, yet they charge it to her a free anchor for fee.
Okay.
They were all allegations coming out of the game I born war, Brazil. Yeah, by say, you bring your pay and fine. Young court na set a commission. The power of a commission is like a power of a district court.
Okay.
And the assembly commission be buano. It's just like a district court to bua. And basically we in century. Yeah. In Tantia Bay, sorry. Atemu Bay and as our court no the buy I am fine.
Okay.
Clearly, all the roadmap our commission is setting. The gentleman fulfilled all the roadmap.
Okay.
One of the recommendations is said he might be a perfect gentleman, but based on the ACCA and the euphoria around the whole thing, he's not fit to be a minister of youth and sports.
Okay.
And President Obama, who will be before,
before fraud in manner,
but sports ministry.
Okay.
Because you are working with a team. Asem sebi as a wajina bansuro so to abua akukwa na takrabua.
Okay.
Ye kase sense takrani nyina bra is very difficult.
Okay.
When you lose a community's trust, it's difficult to be manage our community.
Okay.
So all those were recommendations. Mampani mama you be obeka se men fire no. To say the nanado e ko ba ye say fire national security minister was men fire no. Mahama fired. And I say he fired him. I can say that.
Okay.
Because the office of a minister of youth and sports is more than Obi Awoko president Akwe staffer. You get it?
But sir, Okasa Sakufo so fire some people in his government.
With same scenario now.
Okay, different scenarios, but all borders on.
Because a short commission said national security minister no.
Okay.
Commander Zugu no lead troop no kwa ya was West Wogo. Kwatutu no. Rehwe no fire no.
Okay.
Double no ye didn't go ya fa no free secret. Na otwe mienu petre ne yedi tu ahye ne sima. What to said the original kwa breto mpe otwe no. Ya fa na mra ni do. All these people President Akufo-Addo Bunanu go so. But what I'm saying is that President Mahama, and of course, you bauxite issues. I'm saying, I know it has been a matter, a conclusive matter.
Okay.
Because Minerals Commission on several occasions, the presidency does not hold any power as far as giving a concession to a company.
Okay.
And even Oteko Koswo, his tape is out there.
Okay.
Say, or what the capacity to mine. Why do we always focus on white people?
Okay.
Nti I know the nya semo a kire say ni nua ye mampanin nti sabi na abra mampanin kufo bae na ni nua adokufo adwuma bia na yesi ni nua president nti na mo ye nyina won to na say na.
All right.
Mr. Ibrahim Mahama why mining adwuma bebre under president kufo. Why am mining a Juma Bebre under President Mills? Why am mining a Juma Bebre under President Mahama? Why in Damino Gaza Ugusu ya mining a Juma?
Okay.
In Tianka said Nelso, on your good father Kutahudie Binti and an mining away Ugusu Yana.
Okay.
I don't believe that is the case.
Right.
They are not there. It cannot be used as a justification. But the Ebetimia Bua near Kansi so say, and no, and a dance dear Chile Mopineku Fado is the mother serpent of corruption, said the Martinami Ducano. Then they were not a clearing agent. Now Mahama and Timmy be this letter. This letter dated 3rd March 2021. Letter when President Akufo-Addo the force Yewura Domelevo say on free office, compulsory retirement. Adentia, Osi Osusu say na wanya mfienu aduasia. Abra nkrata bia na Yewura Domelevo kuta. No dear Juma as Ghana's Auditor General. Na nkyerɛ sɛ wadi mfie aduasia. San sɛ owura de molovo na nani ku kata hyehyɛ ko ho na ɔyɛ hwehwɛmu a bɛboa amiabo ɔman agyapadeɛ ho ban ɔman sika ho ban na deɛ wɔfa kuntuna ase afa yɛ bibia yɛbɛgye no kwampa so no ɔmampani Akufo-Addo sɛ ɔpa n'aban ɛne ne n'aban mu mpanimfoɔ ho ntoma compulsory retirement ɔman for so kɔyɛ. This is NRA.
Okay.
19th June 2024 audit service extension of appointment of the Auditor General. With your permission, I wish to bring the information of all staff that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana has extended the tenure of office of the Auditor General, Mr. Johnson Akuamua Asiedu, for the next 2 years. Even though we didn't fear the per statutory, and also a retirement, no, and then on now 2 more years. Na obi here adwuma ho no ndi mfie aduasia o se wono de kinchina wonko compulsory retirement aso ye koro no a obi abeye adwuma wono de mfie aduasia ne wadi wo se wadi mpaase wadi na mo wo sa de mfie mienu pii no so adentia because wo boa makata so no muamu aso koso.
So if the president doesn't want to fight corruption,
yes,
Obai what the office of the special prosecutor,
what has it done?
No, I'm just mentioning so what is in its aim to fight corruption. Ana yɛmfa no sɛ saa deɛ ɔte bɛkata anaasɛ ɔde kata Ghanafoɔ ani sɛ asɛ wɔkɔ corruption nti na wate saa office no ana
ɔpani wokɔ kɔgye ɛmɛwo aduro sɛ wopɛ sɛ ɔyere wo na ɔde bia ɔyere sa nso wode ne kɔda no wahyɛ sɛbe tadua mu bɔ ha yi kɔndɔm ɔyere bɛyɛ da afa afuro wona wo se wo kata hyehyɛ ɛna watete akuo ni abadwafo a wɔno nko kata hyehyɛ wɔ man mu ɛna wo sɛ hyɛ akyire na wo twe wɔn da awerɛ wo bɔ mu nantie ɛna wo lɔkɔ me ndra ɔno a ne ba wɔde ne ba kisi agyaben sɛ ne de wadane ankwa no ma wɔyɛ de obetimi ne mmerɛ so ano wɔkɔ because the state and institutions of state, the government here, or no, they didn't buy so one year Katajan Proeno. A stifling progress, a Fakatache, Proene Cancan. I'm a new to Minko. And it doesn't matter, say, what the institution 1 or 2 about. We have always have enough institutions a bit me akun Katache, Proene Cancan. The Indian Yaye, and not the Indian room pempeso ebenya, and not the especially under a ban way, one more dear son. And he said that government doesn't allow them the free hands to operate. Into a baby arubo say, Nanyasa, Mammy Cecilia Sembaye, if you mukura yamba na wie, or Mampania Akufo-Addo mana acceptance letter, was the minimum said the minimum the minimum so out with flying colors.
Okay.
Nanwa da kunta mining in Sembaye, who Minister of State, Natural Resource Minister, indicted a kunta mining illegally. Well, would I cannot need brief forest? Adian Cheno Mampania Akufo-Addo Jina Baby, oh, minim said, Adia Chama would to me, or any legal. What's one year investigative body? And that's president, or Mampania or Tiswadian. Obia him say, was share was or Barbe Kukatase. But the Odebre Yankasa dear, Wabe one crowphobi, Ashem crowphobi ding. I'm a one the Katase, a digan of 1 year.
All right.
Now he will be remembered as the sole clearing agent in the history of this country. Mampania, Wabe clearing. Look at the economy.
Hold on, for the next 5 minutes, not for you.
None what that Vice President John Drama, your friend saying, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia by Oshia Asante businessman. Asemena na omoka. Businessman and was sentimentum said ne. A mamu boni share boni into ne. Mema 2016. Na ye tree bottom to me yisika topic up in Sia edu. Adema MPP samon kwaya campaign. Ye de boa party. Etimi nya bi boa kroni adeno. And then yina dane ma. Then yina dane ma. Pro MPP businessmen oh. Say NDC ni kwa makasa propaganda bi no way. Pro MPP businessmen. We dansidie kese se adeno atokrodo. Because minua businessman no import to be Kumase. Into dollar no here $100,000 no here so benya 380,000 Ghana cedis. And then the same businessman so here $100,000 also here 1.6 million Ghana cedis.
Now Okasia they attribute it to the economic situation we are seeing.
Economic situation.
COVID was Ukraine, a Russian war. Nancy Akra, President Deko Kasai was Switzerland. He mentioned the Ukrainian war. Say, and no Nigerians was born in Africa. So, until a base economy no a conforma, we should relax for him because we are seeing any Russia city. It had to be an
Ukraine want to question Neko bisa food inflation.
Okay.
mpempenso aduane bo ekosoro Ukraine na oka ho asem hono antoko no asi aye to bompo akogu omso ko hone ko bisa inflation in general Ukraine no a omampani akufo ado edi adane hintadua na di asem bi ebeka Russia Ukraine no ko Ukraine no a ya to bompo abubu omo adan nyina afi no omutiti omo wure mu asidan no ko bisa the level of depreciation omo currency no efesi me pa chao Yes, we are saying Ghana is not the only country in the world. It is just like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Kachire in opposition. Global phenomenon does not jump one country to attack another. It is our Ivory Coast. Now, man for to more 5 kilos, no. Bia, the sunset for the back Ghana no more 55 cities. Now, back Ghana, now man for 108 cities. Now, so Russia, Ukraine, Tina, Ghana for yeah, more boarding and Ivory Coast for the born year. What are you telling me? And yet a train will see every coast in penny for console. And yet been a see and penny for console. So every coast now got to fuel. Now drive a new every coast, no. So Saba Ghana Sikamu, now fuel 1 liter no onyano 10 Ghana cities and now 9 cities 80 pesos. Now back Ghana near driver no to fuel no 15 cities for super 14 point something for diesel. Now see a global phenomenon now Ghana yet ye petrol no diesel no boy dear. What are you telling me? Africa so omo de ntokwa no esi Russia Ukraine e bin si ho ana enunti there is no justification for what they are saying. Indeed global phenomenon no aka obia but mpempenso a ase wonyema no yedi assess with leadership.
Okay.
Say mpenifo a wonu di sananim na wo so omo to ye tutoye na omo ye nyema nchechire yie no omo ye ana omo nye ye fra ban mu in 2016 mpempenso na mabuna omo work capacity see for omo adwumam yentimi for omo adwumam na ye 8.6% unemployment rate and now me no can say unemployment rate akọ 14.7%. Ntokwa see Ukraine ti aban wa Ghana wantimi fa mabuna adwuma na ana bomb no bi abeto asokwa. What are you telling me? Ejebe na ban na ka kire yen enunti now you need an alternative solutions or how prevailing or how are you woman here Russia Ukraine are working I don't know man they Google bank bojo ya ma me no kura ntimi nya besi anye won bojo ana these are challenges or how are one man money kwan ben na betimi afa so asolve mabuna nya adwuma ya na unemployment e mene yen wonim say unemployment is a national security issue o man bia mabuna dos wo mu a wonni adwuma ya no oman no hoyo timi bam cause Bible kraka sensa eni adwumaye no bonsam ma na adwumaye enunti kwampa adwama say yebetima anya nwuma ma ye mabuni nyina is through the 24-hour economic policy.
Okay.
Agro processing. Ye ye cashew ye doing. Ye benya mini factories akuyafo no ye omode wa fom. Na mumrante o manya ntete ye pa o metiba mani those factories. Ni adani ni na nkoba se de bia ye de yesese ekoko aba no nkoba obi. No mfanye bibi foforo mfa meto ma ya boarding.
So how would yours be different from the one village, one district, one factory?
You
how
cannot
different
say one district, one factory.
Different because also that vision.
Every factory must have a certain raw material base.
Okay.
Two begina so kwase one district, one factory. What is the resource raw material base asokwa ubenya?
Okay.
But so ko drobon so. Now so person ye factory ho now di ye abro ho adwuma abro na ni di be ye fertilizer wo di abro na nkasa be ye kondo wo pass no kama raw material no ho because akuyafo ho kura edo abro no munya tofo.
Okay.
Into factory no you will get the raw material to feed it. Okwa bono ho baby now so pentos akoma na ho wo ye ho factory a wo benya ntos ni di feed factory no.
Okay.
So what I say okwa commander because now hwede e wo hoti ene kwesi commander sugar factory. So it is not necessarily say mansin bia but based on the agricultural zones of this country, no, you better identify the potentials of each area. Now the befitting factory.
The final one, how will you know? Say, enquire mere talk because we hear politicians, you see, enquire mere talk, political talk, the reality. Ghana for benefit from it.
Mere talk when they say. I'm
talking about politicians.
Generally
politicians.
John Dramani Mahama. wari aboa koto na chipen
Okay.
enti na wase yesi obere kro a enyina chinye
Okay.
abra okodro kejeti abaye MPP fo hunu picture na omso oboa afa kura de omsi baabi a obesi ade no kura no obetu galamsey because at the fair say de omunya sure say de mama wetimasi enne eyani munyam hyew
Okay.
terminal 3 edi picture oboa obediska enne terminal 3 the best airport in the whole of Africa best airport I think it's 3 times consecutively. University of Ghana Medical Center, the whole of West Africa. Mama atoya hanina West Africa. Hospital kesiye pa niyema pawum fidi pawum enesi wono.
Okay.
Abra ye Konfanochi Eye Care Center. Say ebe serve the whole West Africa both for educational purposes and health purposes. MP for saying ye. And now Konfanochi the biggest eye care center in the whole of West Africa. Ye di ma amanfo ntete ani sua hunu na ye sande sayade esikumase do mama nsano.
Thank you.
It is what me ye niema we nyina ma ne ye yi na nyo no ye atoabo gas processing plant. Ne ye kra gas free Nigeria na ye nkra free and now kwa atoabo a menua ye 24-hour economy because amanfo right 3.
I'll come back to you.
So ko MPS terminal port wa do mama ne si ye ne omo ye adwuma 3 shift.
I'll come back to you. Mesaba ho kabare mesaba ho.
Me se kire me se aduasa mienu aya dansidie ama o se openie weni na papa ne ye enu ne adansidie se de o kan di ani mo betima ya nyamu mugidie na do mama mugidie ya kan na chini to papa ma no no ma ne be ye
Mami too on that same score na me too Jimmy so what's happening to me
mami ndawase na me fanchia sonkomo bibia wagibrea na no pay otie Kessben 93.3 incha wetifo ewo kwansonko so the general secretary of our party lawyer Justin Frimpong Kudia baby obi enfanchia sonko famano chairman Odin Ho Kweku apia one yera wuntumi ne other regional executives so choma kwansonko so oba incha so abato mpesua so a member of parliament Dr. Stephen Amoa one constituency chairman Kofi Ejei edincha sonko edimobia na mabore mu amanse South DC kwampoku CID lawyer me fanchi sonko famana.
Okay.
I believe say anopay yan komo na yebade no eye simple me nu edikan abiebie so kakra na we are looking at eno adwumadi a course for Christian Service University unse mi amete yi me a former student of Christian Service University.
So you are alumni and I say oh yeah events alumni
yeah and me alumni but me alumni na me alumnus na a extraordinary.
And then the man is extraordinary. Okay, I'm
former SRC president.
Okay.
In 2013.
Okay.
And then secondly, my first degree and my second degree. You
know. Okay.
Me spent close to about 8 years.
Oh.
It was school and Adia Bakwa under John Dramani Mahama. I say, yeah, mammy, I ended the year pound as running meeting. We the record Bakwa or war, Christian Service University. Any other private universities, there are about 65 of them across the country. Ono no far the 25% tax. In 2013, that is July 2013, Mamia and Nede NDC 4 pound as running mate, a friend of Batampan, only D anymore. Say, Yamfa, a soon 25% and 2 private universities. No, so, say, you share the university system now, public universities, and so called a ban university, Utia Fisa, for the whole academic year.
Yeah.
But almost private universities, utia for first semester separately, and some was about be for second semester separately. The John Dramani Mahama share and no see there be, and go for school fees no mutia. There was a you to me could just can be because na the be but na abani and mobia or they board these private universities.
So about stifle rather than say obe help.
And nipa now ye engineer behind the hood the running mate of the NDC Yamame Nana Jane. As the education minister, on the tena ho supervise say private universities now government improvide support to be government improvide subsidy be like he's doing for the public universities, you know. Yemfa 25%.
At that time, no, possibly, did we look at the situation and the purpose behind, say, omode that tax no eba, and I say you just look at say a acquire private university, possibly a buying no, not a person style or money go and that's what I want to understand.
I say, a man a woman. As at the time when John Dramani Mahama was president, so now you share the public universities a one mona. Now enough. What you see, and then we can talk about maybe about 6 or 7 public universities are buying universities. Ejina and also Ken University, Legon, UDS, UCC, and a few of them, maybe a UMAT, UNE, and then the likes. Apart from that, these universities are public, and on several about 700 senior high schools in the country.
Okay.
Inti me kontekro, me individual, mako establish a private university. Me boy about 65 of these universities. Able to absorb the numbers are free the 700 senior high schools neighbor. And the only support your government could give to these 65 private universities as of 2013
was taxes.
Was taxes. And the taxes in the class also and 5%, and 10%, 25%. Yes, and that is very, very worrying. Here, 2013 now, yes, I don't know. Now, I was elected as SRC president in March, April 2013. And then July 2013, Yeko council meeting. We spent close to about 5-6 hours at our council meeting because of idea we are. Yeah, Papa John Dramani Mahama, and running mate, Eko for the buy.
Okay.
Because support to be and public private investors run from government. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
That very time, you know. Now, Yako council meeting now, we also had a challenger. Board, no, and I say university council, no, issues about fueling the generators. Because that time not doing so. And during that period, no, we profit in a winyan. We see a bounce as school fees, you know. And that was the main source of revenue mobilization in these private universities. We see a banner buys for 25%. So buy no so on provide the light amount. And what me be at the Acheran Kualana dear.
Okay.
And when you said these private universities, they run the regular system in the morning and then the evening system for home we are Jumana Mukusku and Umran. And by 5:36, now you do Kanian. And that John Dramani Mahama. Sometimes so often evening for us so yeah then. Best school. Into Uko baby to say Pentecost University, Uko baby to say Baptist University, Uko baby to say Christian Service University, Uko baby to say Presbyterian University. That time they drew numera, even students no more best school in your doom kania. It was this private universities, a Pesica, Ecto Diesel, Ecto Petrol, a good generators, one son yet me power, and son yet me so. Yes, you so projector, yet me so fluorescent bulb, I work classroom, and you know say. In every learning center, reading and Kolano Kinkai, school for Kinkai, man, you need a lot of lighting system to make sure say a whole vision is clear for them to be able to learn.
See, what do you want to? Is also saying because of time.
We saw the poor performance and the lack of compassion. By this very John Dramani Mahama and Nede, he believes that he can go to a private university like Christian Service University to go and do a public lecture. We had in some sort of against on one performance.
How?
Yeah, we could not provide electricity for these private universities to do their evening lectures. In addition to that, when providing any form of support, and now me no say MPP, yeba power, yeba power in 2017. That very year, and they scrapped the 25% tax. John Dramani Mahama introduced you to these private universities, 65 of them. Okay. One person did plea a break government. Say, almost MPP government and Mampeni Nana Dankwah for the say. Ye need 25% tax na John Dramani Mahama. And then the running mate na Ajamai. And they were two private investors in the son. Omakaya October 31st, 2017. And the vice president, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, the running mate of the MPP, the flag bearer of the MPP, Eba Bonte, then running mate, and Oba Bonte Bekachere, the private investors say, I buy ATM plea now, what the buyer John Dramani Mahama the Thomason, and ne Musika Munya. John Dramani Mahama banchemu for fabakono. Ye yisa de ne free honum. In addition to that, and the universities they have stable power supplier.
This power supplier and route is all Kamwasem say before they left office, they make sure the capacity that Ghana could generate, was up there or no not buying so any man buy.
I believe say a couple of weeks ago, they were complaining bitterly that situation are buying handle. But yes, but then when we are saying a different thing altogether, and yet Tikroman saying we know the system. Say if favorable, we know.
Okay.
What yes, say if favorable, so you know. For over the 7 years and then about 6 months, MPP are better na kunyaso. Yeah, buy no more the cow Nigeria and gas ka. No, and Jomam wa broken egu honum. You could try sakan.
Okay.
And I'm sinking down the economy. It's an mood the economy. Okay. Me see, killed. Ubia obeka chiro say John Dramani Mahama bigina baby na okikabi say accept responsibility for the economy. Me see, we in the NPP, we understand, we appreciate the economy that we inherited.
Okay.
To understand that, they told us to say, "Oma we namana mana to dumpe." And I will say this, the Biameka Sassam will say, and Namna and this in John Dramani Mahama women to dumpino. O free says, Nam, Chad Dumpina and the Dahonoma, and Kawan Sanko picking forms of person bear flag by Bedi Mampeni Ogana Hebi.
Okay. Tomorrow the Nama Bahon.
Very good. What you say? And 7 months to election, and this is chair post. Almost at the office wakra. Muche post. The obey Minister of Communication, the obey Minister of Education, the obey Minister for Trade and Industry. Yen na eti kroma yen nim se mo de review na mo ya. Mo reviewer ko review one this is one factory. And you be say ho question na to papa so. And one eti kroma no say onim se aban ne buy and what support to businesses. E bia yen 100% there. But you share the idea behind the one district, one factory initiative now. A private partnership program, PPP.
Okay.
You did what Uncle Juma. When you're 24 hours. 24 hours, no crown, so I won't teach the mono. I ye what you be doing. Mun teach him, Magana Fontiasia. Mun teach him.
Okay.
Obiswa. Also, no, your doctor also be teaching Mususwa, could teach you, who could teach him a massa second more in a d. Denying say you munim papanwo baby. Me one I'm within my producer. Our Kessben hand Mrs. Omra Juma. So, and a very, very sad. Say, Muankasa, the major policy of Muslim de Bano, you are failing to explain it. Do you know what it means? It means implementation, no, it cannot be done.
And no trim.
To an extent, say a whole doctor in your communication setup cannot explain 24-hour economy.
On no one or the buy and no trim. He explained it. Say, I'm not supposed to, but I'm not supposed to.
And the NDC fraternity, including my brother here, Mahmoud Kabore, and they say, Yang. Say we inherited an dumpy economy near Beji, but sad dumpy economy now. Yes, the number found,
and the number that's so,
and number that's so, and number that's so, and sad dumpy economy now, and only a debate free SHS policy. You perceive a kind of money, Mahama say, or can say, free SHS never possible. Just a 20 years time, 20 years time, and so yeah,
okay.
Until a day credibility now, what the baby. Ode ba be run free SHS policy no.
Okay.
Ye pese e kache John Dramani Mahama say. Sa dompe economy na ujai na. Entumi ama wentua na excellent teacher training allowance research teachers research allowance no. Sa economy na no and be inherit you.
Okay.
And then national allowance ni tua. Teacher allowance ni tua. Research allowance ni tua. In spite of the economic crisis beto yes economy afana nyina. Yen kan che for say because of COVID-19 no. Ye jai we. Teachers, government workers, they stayed home for about a year. Government was paying them. Yeah, for economic crisis, COVID they buy any the anya excuse. Said you would crisis kakra buy ye. Echa national allowance mu, echa teacher training allowance mu. I promise Ghana for say. Sa teacher training allowance na wutwetwe mu no. Udi basi 10 colleges of education. Then we had 10 regions in Ghana. But we saw none. Ebium yama NDC ni John Dramani Mahama. Asante asye say. Yen. The dompe economy na inherit yen. As I talk to you now, about 15,000 kilometers of road. Yeah, the sad dompe economy na inherit yen. The yen wa Ghana ha.
Okay.
As I talk to you now, sad dompe economy na inherit yen.
I jump from 11,000 to 15,000 now, right?
The update in the amount.
Okay, where the newest update
from the Ministry of Rules.
Okay.
Iraf Subuachi.
Okay.
Because Ashanti region alone, 2,500.
Okay.
Again, yeah, my Ira John Dramani Mahama, any NDC, what yes, the Kwabena Owusu Hospital, Ushasi, Asika, ya dear mom say, Fossy Hospital, Utumid Koya in Vivimu. What does say we need 2016 elections and as we need 2016 sa dompe economy now giant you be completed those two hospitals
okay.
In addition to the Eurojet hospitals Mompeni that John Ajekunku for shas here etu one amount oba ye o completion level in Ashanti region zero no and the DM can say 4 of them has been completed. Okay. In addition to that be quite any other places we have touched on them, we have completed them. Okay. And then those hospitals now the dompe economy now with the giant the nurses and the doctors that want to me for my juma omu ye juma honum again Ira John Dramani Mahama any in this what yes say. See, there is no basis for comparison between a visa and a PhD. So politician wabeye vice president be the president wakotena opposition 8 years. You go to social media and then you use the talk on social media to do politics. After 8 years in opposition, Ghana for Sheni say, what solution are you bringing on board? And as I talk to you now, the solution has not been brought on the table.
Okay.
And none of Ghana for business say, 24 hours. 24 hours so already no this government is doing it.
All right.
The amudi ba are different no. Mete say man no say o choba. You see na and ba na do 2 and I do 5 a.m. ni adi nyina na mbam ya sori akudi the chop bar o mane bo ama so de ba kwa be ka ho say they will stimulate our appetite to eat wacha and water ho 12 a.m. 1 a.m. 3 a.m. no stimulate your appetite ama ye didi renama ye nton na adwuni nyina no they will stimulate it mo amoton niam wo kegeti ano so mo be ye 24 hour edo nyume na power wo yi niam nyina afiri mu na obi so de niam abaye den aba be gum no so ton.
How do you answer to the clearing agent issue? Because wakase ono bombe clearing agent like Nanado Dankwah Kufuadua why clearing agent corruption adokro the MPP abaya to the extent say muntime kura nka ho asem
yeah na at times no so NDC ni BBN na no ka asem wa ho obi oti ba bibia betimi amane yansa
obi a just montwen BB before kura obi a betimi
amane yansa yen I want you to check the budget statement from 2017 up to date aban we betina konya so you check the institutions where you are in charge of this corruption fight. You can talk about Yoko, you can talk about Sraj, you can talk about your office
Office of the
Special Prosecutor. For the record, Anya Fikran, you catch Ghana for in 2016 say we want to fight corruption and we are going to establish and create that office by law to fight corruption.
I'm saying, has a white elephant. It doesn't perform the duties it's supposed to perform because a man says, "I strengths." Maybe I was say, "Oh yeah, Juma Kudunu." Now by Abem. Now was saying a Juma Dino.
Yeah, catch the Ghana for, and I want you to listen. Me pese utia some na me can say. Yeah, catch the Ghana for say. We want to fight corruption through the establishment and increasing of that office. Yeah, na see yenye.
More establish it.
So. Check the validity of say a promise that you make here now. Are you done or not done?
The promise is done.
Very good. Until the success of that office is for all of us to judge, especially when the president of the day appointed an NDC NDC personnel obi him say we attached to the NDC to man that office. They free say nipa or credibility when NDC name Ira Martinamidu. The way we all knew him to be no. Nanka obetumi aboa ma ya chichiro man no. Nanka yemfa wait yemfa NDC. Asema oba abonte beka say the president a mother serpent of corruption. What was the basis? It was on the grounds and then on the fact to say Odi asema koto mampani anim ana mampani say nipa wa boni din wa asem nim no yaman efe hearing what you see
anka say yenyini film
yentie o say yentie ni take in the issue now yaman
okay.
And you based on that and you say say nipa na mother serpent of corona one kasa undi masama wo kan adwuma ye dia shonsa. Secondly na me make reference say yen check the budget statement from 2017 up to date. Sika yoko hia sika strategy hia say wo mu di bi wo dwuma na this government under the able leadership of Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo ni yeru Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, we have increased the amount by over 40-50% to make sure say when it comes to funding any problem. And then I'm no kasi rojo nunu rojo nunu ko trafidi so and e bisa na say we NDC ni founding member of the party and then we hwe NDC ama eku ampanifu ewu mu amuka bi ewu mu a Ghana fo tie o see e bisa na say enne oh my Ghana yinim say crisis war and say beta fracture me am MPP ni me metran say me MPP nti oh
baby are you okay
the heaven about Ghana I will never do that and you bisa say senka NDC na our power. Do you think say ankomu baby bi sunku bi ana or say NDC would have done worse? Yes, the video is all over. You can search Obia Okuta phone or what browser can go on the internet and Google Rojo Nunu response to the reaction of the NDC towards the current governance.
Okay.
If senka NDC na what power, the NDC ombetumi aye ye bisa no no NDC no or see NDC would have done worse.
Okay.
And the next day I no can say supporter na me read the statement no or see he's quitting the NDC. And NDC and that John Dramani Mahama adding Obia belong to the Rollins factor, Obia belong to the Mills factor. Hey, it's quitting NDC. They are quitting. And Kayabaka and KMPP are better power 8 years. Yam NDC at no position 8 years and can be united bringing all these people on board. Look at the posture and demeanor of Yurakoku and Yidoho. Say John Dramani Mahama say o you leader or you unifier or you be obetumi din kabuma Ghana for. Onfan kabum bre the NDC
fraternity. Because what can say people also talk about Lanchamatin, people talk about other stalwarts and not one people almost a free man. Now they speak against the NPP.
Now they speak against the NPP.
Say okay, Rojo Nomone, Koku and Yidohunu have a problem with the current former president and then in Kroneba. So definitely said the NPP for Nebeka say tier NPP now. No more free like a line chairman. The same way these people will speak against the NDC.
Asema mekayen. Maminchrim kakra.
Chemuye na mintuasi.
I'm talking about a leader of an opposition party. Only responsibility be an asset tax be a also. Uti opposition na unya bemo. Upesa oba power. One more party ni more. Opposition 8 years and more year reorganization. So when to me unite or man for man board and for man be a Juman fan yet to me in the dia. Then opposition now tia unya Jumebiano. Again, we in opposition one. We all know say MPP is in government.
Okay.
And all these people that you are making reference to will be the same Alan Koju Chamatin. I will lead the movement for change. They've all had an opportunity.
Hopes and Adoyanum.
One way or the other. So when you minister, why your sector be CEO, and that's why you penimubia, why enjoy.
Okay.
Otiasi Alan Chamatin had been the trade minister only under Nana Dankwah Akufo-Addo. Close to about 7 years, the party no power.
Okay.
He led the ministry.
Okay.
Yankasa won ye yin efrima kotranche anase ya gine position bia ye den afini nsem ti ode ho eyawo anase bibisa nti no de ebufu de free party nim. And then the most important thing is that when we started the presidential primaries process in elections, he was part of it.
Okay.
The first election, the electoral college in Kotu, he was a candidate. And the other thing, one train my uncle main one, a be uncle train my uncle to main one, and Kated and Audi and Uncle Frihon Baye, the winner of the main election.
All right.
But on one person, they decided, say,
he
will not continue the process. It was his personal decision.
Okay.
I will take here.
Okay.
Until Nadia catch will be with TFD. And they said, John Dramani Mahama. And there was one funny thing, of course, with Christian Service University. And as a stakeholder from that university, I was quite disappointed. Say, Nipa or your vice president at Christian Service University was standing as an NDC parliamentary aspirant at Kwabena.
Okay.
And the chairman of the event programmer, of course, you are John Dramani Mahama Bekasaya, or your former NDC parliamentary aspirant, Drobonso. Me, I'm a lecturer, KNUSC Professor Edward Brenya. So, into Shumua, I say, Ubia, only the program, no,
NDC related.
One word the other. Or he has something to do with the NDC. And say, in a public university, in a private university like Christian Service University, let me use this specifically a Christian university. We utien somehow the theme of the program. Sustainability, democracy.
So a lot of democracy, the African, in Africa, the Ghanaian experience.
Very good.
Yes.
And somehow you're a John Dramani Beka Honomona. Say yen trouble famano.
Thank you very much.
And Jimmy, he should try and do an assessment.
Thank you very much. Come on, you any summary rebuttals, then we carry on from there now.
Very much.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Jimmy, the obi to my aunt, as I say, Oji Power for a dobone na odo.
To Waji Power for a brother. So
Ghana, you might be the whole pipe walker and a human medicine MPP communicator.
Sir,
once I some what they acquire. Teddy Kai was it your mamma say we na mama na kadompe. Me waste much time. And for trends on fire evidence in Bremen. But for purposes of who for and the Ghana for woman in the yesterday yaya woman my MPP for a little bit of education. If you are by me. The mama bought for 2 to my friend Heritage Fund. So Heritage Fund, no. As a children, say in Chirimba football. Why are you to your mama beginning who say? And maybe person na why you no self as asinu. Na Chirimba o meba o mede. Enti sika bia enya free why you no no. Na wa bought for 2 bi ato was in Chirimba football. Or di bitum for in Chirimba. Sa football no ye fra ba mu no. Na $400 million in the dem. Yefra bam. Na wabofo to be sinking fund. Se mre bi beso a besia kura ne ade a yakogije no. Betimamba se e bibia ani da so se e de be services a besia no. Na niema kwatwe. Enu ti yembo foto bi nto ho a e disika akra betum se niema kwatwe a ye betimi de saa foto no aba betwitwaje ye ho. Sinking fund $250 million in the them. For two be a friend of stabilization fund. Say economy number yere se benta se nyanya bi bo man no na yesika sem kwatwe a do mama say yemmo foto bi nto wa enuma be twitwade de amaye sa stabilization fund no so he was $250 million. Openi abra COVID the buyer ye need to ka yen sem na ye try say World Bank ni wan na ebe so ya sene no the first point of call omampani akufo ado ne aban yi ekọ mu ko yi sika was the stabilization fund, the sinking fund, and the heritage fund.
Okay.
Nti ne MPP ni nu adomama bo foto to hoja mo waba ampa oye na aba wo do nza ko bom wayi bie no o kire adomama se sa economy ne ye don't pay economy because was what this keni nyina na wankasa wano eye mienu na otachira maye mienu wo de wo di twa nkontompo gu nipa ho fi na wo de wo dididie that also mienu.
Or make that statement. Did he make that statement?
Yes, he made that statement.
Not no purchasing.
Say, your mama said, "Wa win nam no manaka don't pay." It means what this is getting in.
No, I'm saying said don't Mahama make that statement. Did he make that statement?
He make entirely different statement.
This statement,
Abra. Now you can say we should find a very nice way locally. You bet me I near from our own revenue mobilization.
Okay.
Because I said that what did you taxing you now to my forecast? The Aka grant me yet.
Let's canasa
infrastructure here.
Okay.
So we should find alternative ways. I been Jessica.
Okay.
Because I said that on mine. I said you just to my forecast career. Be biasa. And I'm more twisty as them to suit propagandist agenda.
Okay.
But you waste time. Many Jimmy say, "Don't mama about Burukagu N1 gas and energy sector debts." Indeed, every government inherits assets and liability.
Yeah.
And to say, "Oh, banado do dio hona ofa." A car wo hono and mesungumeso because a car be a wa bemuno and viti obi a person and real be a person. Even the USA owns somebody.
Okay.
The total energy debt was 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. As we speak, and now we can say, total energy debt in this country is 17.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
How did you get there?
Okay.
Abra na ye to gas.
Asset now.
Yes, as we speak. IPP sinin ko for domka over to a tune of 17 billion.
I know so much tribute.
How much? Go and tell me who is in training. As at the time when you talk gas, John Mama talk gas free Nigeria. Near the car 1.7. And then you talk gas in free Nigeria. Every year, John Mama Tiso, near talk gas, I spend $300 million in the crack gas. And in few soon, not John Mama, the mills are down a 12 gas processing plant or Musi Yenti. Ya to Jaframani Buani and Kotoa. How much have we saved for this government? Over 31.5 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Yet, you still own 17 billion Ghana cedis. And no na Ghana 411. Ah, na po, sorry, and they doom so you are not paying me back. I said, I'm trust I'm one more. How much 540? You doom light. How much 540? You doom light. Sorry, see how far doom. He generator sound kwa yet, was it doom so ni ho? Sabe Ghana for yen ye tie nso ohiem ke odini enim said ye hye ye fan ye di enim the realities on the
now this year man because we are just rebuttal yeah
economy ma men kai no say sa don't pay economy no a work no businessman no wo kumase no pay $1 onya no 3 cedis 80 pesos wo economy na ya to focus economy na 15 Ghana cedis
I didn't say to
so was said if it's not don't pay then
it's out to focus okay
and businessman no na braba ko yi na braba jija
okay
washi ne dwetire unsa ni fede unni tema that also mienu dum so don't pay economy na wo ka no brava ni no anopai wa bie Kessben na wo tie won kam no na diesel no 1 gallon ni nyina 1 gallon no sa 4.5 liters now tono 14 Ghana cedis and I mean no kasa brava no turn over 65 Ghana cedis into who economy na papa
all right
the mama economy now say don't pay economy no dokuno baako near turn abros 150 pesos open you be the send the dokuno baako 5 cities can 50,000
so Sulaya says should you come to power should you come to power reduce one now I want to answer one yes
man don't pay economy don't pay economy lele rice 5 kilo near 18 cities were Kromha. And the lele rice, 5 kilo no, 125 Ghana cities. Timamino and Ibeko school no, water lele rice, Aman Wakono. Na brabo ye anasesa. Ya sanitary pad opening. I reho sem kure woman yina say. Abaywa and Alba Wobunza, and yana pet a natural order. Enti, tax ni adie bi adomama hwesu yi enti. Na ya sanitary pad bako. 2 cedi 50 pesos under your mama. And the year sanitary pad, when you're there for crown, 18 Ghana cedis to 20 Ghana cedis. Because a 12 quite that sanitary pad so and yes,
thank you.
Opening share maybe every crowd I say when you're in room time. Share cement. Ye frabem. A branch of person will sit down kakra na ma me kodam. Cement bag back was 37 cedis and they over 100 cedis. What the hell? The antuntum crowd in wa walk a draw lufat. Mahama person look at back 5 cedis and the 30 Ghana cedis. Dilated BP a draw. Mahama person they 15 Ghana cedis and they are 261.
Thank you very much.
Area draw midi chat as it area draw opening for cigar. No man sit area draw. You wa bamu they 81 Ghana cedis and they 871.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Opening they don't pay economy.
Thank you.
Economy.
Thank you.
Mama you don't pay economy there. And you mudi the 4.0 economy.
Me pa say
and they are pious.
Say you to Abama MDC. Moba sani mo iso betete.
Yes, because at the end of the day, so the price stabilization index the buy ya. Abanye ye free what ye be before from the flagship project. Now the main intent in say see you to petrol with drama so SAS to quadia na ejiji free Ghana for hono. Ye de be kwa share. Na price no enkan the auto final consumer no na petrol no bo so ate. Nti ye ba SAS kana kufa to ade one village one dam village no dam no kwa ye hu bi o village no mu no. Ye mfa SAS kana kwa ye sa ade no bem. Ye de be share petrol no mu. Abre bi ane bo be koso no aban wo bibi odi hyemu a reflecting what we bottom.
Thank you.
Sanitary pad no.
Thank you.
Yes, that's one you know. Thank
you very much. From Sule Sunyani KTK, fellow Ghanaians, there is a vast difference between the great MPP and NDC. Acknowledging their difference is crucial for Ghanaians to engage in constructive dialogues about the future direction of Ghana's development and make informed decisions on 7 December 2024. It is fair to say that both parties claim to have the country at heart and have made some contributions to the development of the country one way or the other. There are some glaring differences between the two. While the MPP objectively is improving the lives of every Ghanaian and advance their well-being, the NDC's common goal is to amass wealth for themselves and ensure the future of their families and that of their descendants are financially secured. NDC is Ghana's #1 enemy of progress. Hashtag Save Free SHS, hashtag Baumia 2024, it is possible, inshallah. Odia by Jimmy, Mamiti also ansana. And then I can top it, but we inquired in United. It's worth it because you have to delve deeper into it. Yes,
worth it.
Yes.
Kiudi. Unim. Adebakwa ma observe about you.
Yeah.
Unso ni na brofudini.
Brofudini. Kwabena Owusu Dankwah.
Eden.
I can't food it.
We catch yourself. We number and at 2 dump.
Anyway.
Say, but some children Mahmoud Kabori say. Santa Casa. Senya Santa Casa mpa. Unkase uja dumpio. Tiasem you.
Yeah.
Ozi uyere. Ubi namono. Man to dumpe. I don't need any person to do an interpretation on this for me.
Okay.
Me tiwi. Minim nam.
Na onim dumpe.
Nanse matisa almost like say enama bado dumpe no.
Sa.
What you say? Enama ba nti munsa ambra na mo bede. Mo marry. Yeah. Let me say this. And Ghana ni bia wo tie Kessben. Jumedi. And dream who pound from quadrim. Enti meti was is here, me a man penny. Me were heritage fund 400 million. Me was sinking fund. And the mankai amount no boy. Me were stabilization fund 250. Na woman funi kania, omuda dum somu. Ti asem ni yo. Sa woman for
or build it capacity or build it build it
capacity building uka brofo be capacity me be brofo
okay
atso na me kan me se me ka akankasa yedin me pacho yedin me se me ka akankasa ubeti me ka chem se me wosika dam account mu na watade atete na wode nam kurum
na komodo
na wusu
okay
no be abusa say aden na come do me wosika dam account mu me 400 million dam account mu obi be catch us say be utafrache wajimi huh? You cannot tell us to say you had heritage fund there, you had sinking fund there, you had stabilization fund there. Now we pon fie kodru ufia na dum so fan kra utumi so nsi so.
Ti entro.
Na we omo djuma eye common pa ebianka obia betumi aye bi aswata ton. Ya ma okania ni mpo na John Mahama o ma okania ni mpo na wo dia solite ni mpo nya iceberg mpo ya bobu e dia gunsu ni so aton o ka chem say wo sinking fund ho o ka chem say wo heritage fund ho o ka chem say wo stabilization fund ho yeah, let's get these things clear. Na sasika we nyina egu ho no mu enso na mabunu nya adwuma nje na ya tamoman na dina man na koma IMF under John Dramani Mahama. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Uwe sika we nyina fund na se bi otafrache uwe sika da ho uyare a ubetumi yi sika ni bi dia to eduru anom anya apomden o say me discount to am nchirim ba na wo dia opeso wu. Does it make sense? Again, ye magana fo nyina ntiase na se sika we nyina da ho no mu na so na ye nuanom ma ye nuanom mema anom ko kira de we nkurase okokira de 3 years na sasika we nyina ne ye boaboa no gu ho no mo ne ye tua ne ka 3 months. Does it make sense? 3 months pay policy a John Dramani Mahama de buy no na o se o man sika no o boaboa o man sika ni nyina no e de agya nchirimba be sa nchirimba na ye ka mo ho asam na ye de ne ko ekurase okokira de 3 years ne ye tua ne ka 3 months me nuanom e bi ka ho.
Okay.
Again, yet kroma nim say oso boabo sika no man ni sika wom o ka we nyina wie ye no national allowance se beauty fracture those days o ma no muntumi o mu ye o mu ni bie a mu be ko university no na o mu ko nursing training because anya hwe kura na ho no ye be ma no allowance.
Okay.
O ma no mu ni bie anya hwe kura no mu ko teacher colleges teacher training colleges anya hwe kura no obenya allowance dia to books obenya allowance di bia to aduane.
Okay. So does it mean say those monies were not available?
Dabi o ka kire me say wo de sika no ejaye but ye hwe ahokyere ne wankase kwa ofo so ubu ba.
No, did you mo be shia sa mo be to sika na say mfa say sebi o mo ehunya sa mfanye but do you meet those monies in the coffers said no more kana as MPP
sa sika ne de me am TSC ya me confirm whether say ya betu ya na say me to but let me say something me di masemusi no yemma me ma me nua kabore ene bia otie fidie no enya ntiase bi aban bia oba power bia no just as he said say aban no he inherit eka na wasan inherit ebia some benefits hwe President Kufuor in 8 years team ye pa obi otie fidie ni tie ni President Kufuor betna aban mu 8 years foreign loans ebeka nansa in 8 years na ye 2.9 billion NDC bar power under Professor Johnny Van Satamels and John Dramani Mahama ye running mate and that's why ye vice president in 3 years omo foreign loans omunyaye na ye 4.06 foreign loans are President Kufuor nyani in 8 years na ye 2.97
okay
but in 3 years NDC bar power after 2008 elections the foreign loans na ye 4.06 in 3 years.
Okay.
ABM grant and revenue in 8 years President Kufuor etina konwa so onya 24.2 8 years grant and revenue in 3 years NDC better power and after 2008 elections NDC nya 28.2 in 3 years against MPP John Ajekum Kufuor's 8 years of 24 ABM in 8 years John Ajekum Kufuor's expenditure in 8 years na 31.2 billion in 8 years NDC after 2008 elections, after 3 years, omo buy na omo expenditure 35.1.
Okay.
And this sika na omo buy spending ni nyina munya free one. It was from the John Jacob Kufuor administration.
Okay.
They make out
But does it justify?
Let me end. Them person children say, who the 8 years of John Jacob Kufuor administration, and an expenditure 31.2 billion, and the first 3 years of NDC, John Dramani Mahama ne era Tamelsa, no more expenditure, a year more than John Jacob Kufuor expenditure in 8 years, or 3 years, no more than John Jacob Kufuor in 8 years, and Ghana ni bia betimi catch say John Jacob Kufuor administration performing better than John Evans Satamels ne John Dramani Mahama yakabo in 8 years.
Also between
the expenditure
now. 4 years now. That's the also propagation.
I'm 4 years.
I'm the justifiable in 8-7 years now. They also say they have performed better than the MPP in the 7 years.
But yen ka say enamo ye winam ema ni tudompe.
Okay.
Wo modi o mo ka kire Ghana for say. O mo wi nam no amana to dey. Amana to dompe.
Okay.
Sebi tafrache meme yakani. O ka kire say wa wi nam na amana to dompe a. Kasa ya sem na wo ka kire me.
Okay.
Ena ade ba ko we se ye ma obi ate ase ne se. Aban bia betra konya so osom ne man. Oti ase. Na o say COVID buy no. Ye ko yi sika. Na sebi tafrache COVID buy na nipa ni wu no. Na sika ne da ho ye se ye diska ne gyanchirima. Ye diska ne gyanchirimenti nipa ewu COVID aba nipa ewu. Na sebi tafrache aban ya to aba ma ho. Se fa wo nyansa bu o man no. Na untumi entreten nyama na sika na da ho no untumi fan save lives dia na se bi tafrache onya ban a untumi abo amanfo enti na ye ka se aba ye koto no December 7 2024 to aba ema obi a obetumi abo ho ban.
Thank you very much. Comensa Pillar 2 Dome Kwabena constituency. Honorable Kojo Oponkroma, thank you for the good works you are doing for Mother Ghana. 10 companies have shown interest in Seglemi housing project. MPP all the way. Greetings to Honorable Yaya Kasim, Ata, AK Kas PC for Amasamai constituency, and Lawyer Mike Okwe Jr., AK Gabo PC for Dome Kwabena constituency by Comensa Pillar 2. Yeah, that's a Comensa Pillar 2. Yane Kessben University for Bedin Komo. But Meba Aye Kaboro, just a minute, then you wrap up for us. A minute, and wrap up for us. Mamintu Kaboro, yes, just a minute. 1 minute, yes.
Me software come out for the beba power.
They.
I do my thing pass over MPP communication.
Unto so
communicating.
communicating.
When we do bonne minu anodo. Or one statement say. Abaya onwene ena sika wo ho na nesinteni allowance ena dum so ena say forgetting say even when an this get of stabilization heritage and sinking fund no na dey amare car power any all those planted ba abeso dum so ye nyina ni esi kijetia ye nyina ni esi atoabo gas processing plant. So we have alternative plans for it. Ono awie no asa be ka kire wo say omo buy no COVID the buy no there was the need to use the sinking fund and heritage fund because na however the purpose why they set a fund say enimum be ye din buru so a bitima use sika no say the tuya na sin allowances and come by COVID by come by there.
Thank you, Bedasi.
This goes to confirm the MPP and their tradition. Omo believe we say bibi wo why dey be genchirima.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy.
Say me ba be ko school ewie na yedina kwetu akurase na Jo Mahama say o free be 3 months pay policy papa free double so na buy na ho no o kwa on o behind die o be change o be tria light Bible so me so ayentua oka enti se beauty frache o ba wie school a wo ye adwuma wo expect say Obana yetua ne ka bosomen anya hwe kura nka oje ne bosomen aketua ho anka wo a wo ye gya wo ye nan nka obetimi ate kakra ma aye den wonya kakra tafre because wa hwe obama na wie school so said they obi hwe ma obi hwe obi ma na sififi na e wo so obi susu hwe obi ma na situtu no Jo Mahama se 3 months pay policy na odi obi akɔhye kurase ɔkɔcha de 3 years e best so obi tua ne ka wa command 3 months in say beauty fracha ɔkacha fiura ne say wacha din fi miensa wo twen se ne bosumi aketua mfi miensa ne nyina beba no de bia betua ne dan ka na sika ne ko ba yakoba 3 months sa ne fi wura ne omo ewo ho no besi de no
thank you Jimmy betamaso
ma no nsima melandi ye na me membu ye magana fo nyanti asese the arrival of those ships no and solve dum so no. But rather the able and capable management aban we are render in terms of making sure the sustainable gas supply. There's no way the car can
Thank you, Jimmy.
That is what we have done.
Thank you very much. Mada Jimmy Boachansa ase na mada Mahmoud Kabori enso ase. I'm na be dwumadi be ni Kessben University for Kwako Dinkom. Lawrence Boacheke Buche Asenua Asorin Kwantania Unity Oil Filling Station. Good morning, KOD. The hands off demo of the NDC was completely needless, in my humble opinion. Why are they putting the cart before the horse by organizing such a demo while the mother is before charge for investigation? They should have waited for the outcome of the investigation of charge before taking that action. Okujeto must stop the unnecessary hatred he has harbored for Asantis and the Akan tribe in general. Happy birthday in advance to my father Edward Atabuachi aka Billy. Yada se odia ode abba. Ghana need visionary leader Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but not incompetent leader John Dramani Mahama, because 2024 general election is the contest of ideas and capabilities. When you compare the two, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is far ahead of JDM. Dr. Bawumia has proven beyond every reasonable doubt that he is the best candidate to lead a country with his digitalization policy, but never again to Mahama with his own confirmed Nkete and 24 economy policy. Special greetings to lawyer Mike Okwe Jr. Mike Aaron Okwe Jr., the incoming MP for Dome Kwabena constituency. Yaw Osankide Taifa and Odiwe Abre Yen. Okay, so a host of other things. I am sure meet me reading. I'm fan cham na men kona mene Kessben University for Enko di Enkomo. Margin ewa ha. Registrar so ha. Me ba ha chun to se min ka o nyina di. Imagine them abodi. Registrar akwaba.
Yeah, Jamini.
But you did the same.
How much Zuleha to?
Zuleha too. So yeah then.
Me a student.
A student. I can say they say me chu better how now kaso na.
Media student in tra.
I said tra. And I said okay better for power. Anyway, and two so teacher ho me wa. Most of what they say. Most of the students.
Me administrator.
Administrator.
Yeah.
And
city campus SRC
president. SRC president no. And to a shitty. Correct one pa. Imagine.
Yes, dear.
Mami ntimwe.
No pay the nchia every Kessben University College. Ebre etifo ni ahwefo nyina. Ye ba ha cha kakra na ye be wosu ye ho ye be prum. Ama obi ate ye nka ye wo ho. Ye woni ma papa pa.
Amafo mure fia ye wo ho.
Ye wo ho.
Ah ye wo ho ye nko ba bia.
Obi ate. So Kessben University College.
That's right.
Digina ye na so.
Sa. All right. Enti mi anko register ma mi sha se me free ho na dia na mpesa mun ye chene ne.
Kodi mi da sipi nyame insha so me yakwanya. Ye be chia tifo na ya chia Kessben University. Esuafo ne adechirefo nyina so anopai. Ba anopai ase de magin kan no ye wo ho. Na on say university adwuma no once na ho abi ubekọ recess kakra. Nti say ye share 2024-2025
academic year na say. Okay.
And yet me share abra nya admissions. Nti ye baya
so ye bie kwan no.
Bie kwan ato for admissions no. Na nsempe wo ho ne say nyame adom any yen chancellor lawyer Stephen Boatin Adarumanti ye the new programs about 7 new programs abeka existing ones
kanen de na wo ho na amafo ni age ho no Mosande 7 asabeka. Okay.
And the reason is we don't just introduce any program.
Okay.
You share dynamics any the demand from the market, job market and assign the program number. You see I'm no ka say nyame adom yegusu ye hontoto ya ye the nursing eba.
Okay.
Ye the midwifery eba. Yeah, the politics and international relations eba. Yeah, the public administration and leadership studies also eba.
Okay.
Yeah, the computer science with entrepreneurship eba. The programs are about na academic programs are omani here. Na iwiaso so den here. Wo ye mem hanum so we have politics. There edi emu tintima pa na bebre no ye complain. Eti Kessben dey to no so say ye be trainee modern or contemporary politicians.
Okay.
Omubabua ama ya manage yen limited resources no as a country na as a global yetimi aye and public administration no the difference is politicians no make key policies na it takes the public administrator to implement them.
Okay.
And you can't just be a mere public administrator, but rather you should be a leader. It's a blended public administration and leadership studies.
Okay.
It's a better say candy for Abuama yen amayo samoa ye no mem hanom no sabe the sanitation eden abam ama said ye
betim wo say emu fine emu choku ni nyina be yiye frim
and Kessben no invest in edika bi
okay
wo hwe yen business administration graduates about bonten information communication technology graduates about bonten na they are exceptional and they be me betra me ka say obi a wo ton koko a obekona odi no na chese koko no ye kama on fan frafra bia anye den enfrem
to bi obeko ton koko na so odi wacha
bisa say adena
wo ton koko na odi wache okay
ha cuz the American General say Kessben University College no ye tete mo fra no wi a ye samo madwuma ye den eye
ye nyam za monko
Jeff ye otimachi
ye mammo nimde na mo fa nko ye adwuma baabi
so nti we oti he wona ya administrator wo Kumasi City Campus o wi Kessben University
Jeff hi
eti bi na ko di ye baya ye new programs na ye dey
you know
and ye bebo
qualification to say and I say modi banti asesa na asa dada na
okay you've been in existence for almost 9 years now and ade ba ko ametimi akam from Kessben say ye nya ade a accreditation board enye ye ho issue da
okay
ye nya ade a ye University ye
affiliated body no
enye ho assembly because unlike other private universities who almost be a career school nin can set because the results of the coin no enye uba Kessben na sanema no unti bi wo ho no and I answer in the private university ye graduation na o certificate
are you ready yen kase cobra
dabi ye bi krada
wo sha kapompo no wie na ye de wade ye ma
okay no na call baby
okay
eti o ba niema ohia efa qualification ni say so you be a wie SHS that's the minimum entry requirement
okay
obo no ma no afro so me wie just san no ye de ndie wo wie SHS
to wie na results to san krada bra
obetimi aba me cheche mu o ye fresh now ba A1 to C6
okay
you run diploma and degree programs A1 to C6 no obetimi aye degree programs
okay
but we binti na wonya bi a E8 D7 na ye wo programs amabo di nyina ye wo ni diploma version hono a obetimi abaye ni 2 years
okay
na de wo mu a ni gisem ni say we ni 2 years ni wi a na wo de abaye top up from level 200 na wanya degree no within 5 years not just when your diploma
any degree
no abra won san control wasi ni biem and san obaye degree no
okay
obo nso
so the betna fie kwa na se woni bebi akono wo de be 2 years no
diploma
na qualify na koye degree ni to aso okay
na de omu se wo wie diploma na wutimi ye national service wutimi to ye adwuma wo ba ye multi credit wo ba Kessben group ye wo diploma students be holders be bra ya form a omo ye adwuma na obo no ma no anyini onya 25 years or above
na 25 for na anyini
ha ekono
me de mabroso
your friend mature students
me say ba so this ma mienu
okay ano ebi ana ukọ SS no ebi ntiwa ntwa so no anya deficiencies bi or resource mo ye free be mature application
okay
eno no ba ye be on so hwe kakra bi na wanya kwanya na wo ye adwuma ye wo weekend school ho ma je be ka ho asem na wo be wuram na
fefe na wo de mam ko ma je ho na minti ona na ma memra ye me wura fefe so so Zoria okay ma minti ma je
ayo weekend school no eni actually e wo aseda house nhwe ani mu he
chaka ani mu a
glass dan kama ni si ono eno ni weekend school no ni efra si fiada na ya classes no so memene da
fiada time ben enyumre
fiada free 5 pm
chese adwuma
wa pon no we na mpanyimfo we ya adwuma we ya housewife we na we ya housewife grant na fio bra na ben ena wo first degree kra betimi asan be ye foforo bi aka ho ne ye bobodin enyina
obetimi abaye bi aka
wo ye friends wo ye business but procurement nso ho obetimi aba ebi a na wo ye nursing eno so obetimi abaye okura ye friend sen diploma in nursing obetimi aba be degree ni nyina weekend school
okay
ye wo ha
okay
lecturers no so de se wo ba penyin hu na kola o de student na hu de o ye
kama obia mengo kama
because o me ye mpanyinfo
okay
ebi fifrechi ebi tukwan free atebubu takrade all over eba na ye hostel kama so a wo ba obenya baby ada very very affordable ho so ye kama oba ho so a wani beji into weekend school me kan for my phone nyina obi amra na baby sem wasem
me da se ba m ko zuri ha so na me ntio no so kakra so be ka twi
Beka ni nyina.
Sa o de fa kakra so so ma me na yenko
Oh, me die. Ne mama ni ji Kessben University wanna say. We heard on business. Students no
junior JC for no mo senior for
and the environment is here very conducive for learning.
All right.
And every teaching material so here I was say improve your academics no. It's well structured. It's make Kessben University mo bia.
Mama ko friends administrator what you mic this you be any mama to administrator kakra bi na afi so what the one numbers no between to dwa
big already numbers near
0501
63 73 83 WhatsApp line our so in chemu bi on him be my voice note e dey my name so 0264 170 478 offer no so a obenya anytime bia
mama ko SRC president ona ono so fa kakra bi so ni enwi
we dem dey kakra bi so no
that's right and also your media personality waprum okay me too
me dey kakra bi so no me don kram you no nam ba ku free Mr. Oda Ismail or Ghana Prison Service and patients ni mo almost some a fan of this show na senior kri okoko no so dwuma no watena mu kama pa ento mo chia right Kessben University College they say education for development and in this time as I say the conversation of PhD and European passport about the conversation we are trying to bring out the best your students now we try to make them effective so that they beat me I am very efficient in the job market and who money into share courses na the two jana yes exactly
that's imagine na mada registrarcy meda zuria administrator na SRC president ase ye be sore so na agudi hunsam no aba betos nyame admo chena ode adumdum ya ye be san atena se na ya be di dwuma no se de osi edi no ye da se ye sore so ye be da akua pc
Everybody follow not sa malaria. A 3D till you not now. Malaria chill. Popo.